Hi, my name is Dave, and today we're going to be going over the setup of the ShootSteel.com Texas Star. And if you've never shot a Texas Star before, they can be one of the most challenging but yet fun targets you can shoot at the range at a competition or just shooting for fun. The ShootSteel.com Texas Star is designed to be a semi-permanent installation, and while you can disassemble it and transport it to and from the range, it's really designed to be set up and left at a semi-permanent range location. The only tools needed are simple hand tools. It's recommended to have a wrench and socket, or you can use adjustable wrenches as well. Let's go over the included parts so you understand where they fit during the setup process. Inside the package, you will find 4 legs, noting that 2 are different than the other 2. This orientation is important as you will need 2 opposite legs on each side of the upright to complete proper setup. You will find the upright body itself with upper bearing assembly, the main spindle with spacer and retaining bolt, which will need to be removed for installation later. The rotating star portion of the target consists of a front plate, a rear star plate, 5 pre-assembled arms with clamping mechanism, and the included carriage bolt and nuts. There will be 10 bolts and nuts included. Last are the 5 individual steel targets. Installation is fairly straightforward. However, having a friend assist you is highly recommended. Some of the parts can be a little heavy and awkward to hold on your own, and having an extra set of hands makes the installation that much easier. To begin installation, it's recommended to use either the ground or a floor surface to begin setup. Begin by aligning one side set of legs and inserting the bolt. Then insert the bolt through the upright and through the opposing side of legs on the other side. Secure with a nut. Repeat for the bottom bolt and nut. Now tighten the nut, making sure that it is of proper torque so the nylon insert of the nylon locking nut is holding the bolt and holding torque. As you tighten, you may find the upright start to lift slightly. This is normal, and this is where having an assistant comes in handy during tightening. Once the upright and legs are complete, we can now assemble the rotating star portion of the target. It is very important to note that the front plate must go forward, behind the front plate is then the arms, and behind that is the star plate. Begin by aligning all of the carriage bolts into the front plate. Then you can align each of the arms onto 2 carriage bolts and install the back plate. You can now install the nuts and begin to tighten all of them as shown. Repeat for all 10 bolts and nuts. Take note that the carriage bolt must be seated firmly in the front plate to prevent rotation and to allow proper torque. Once the star assembly is complete, we can now install the spindle through the bearing body. Remove the front retaining bolt if you have not done so already. Then insert the spacer, making note that the flat portion of the spindle will need to be aligned with the flat portion of the star rear plate. Again, taking note of the flat on the spindle and the flat on the star plate, you can now place the star body onto the spindle. Insert the retaining bolt into the spindle and begin to tighten by hand. Then, using a wrench to hold the rear of the spindle and a second wrench or socket to tighten the bolt, begin tightening the retaining bolt with hand tools. You need to make sure that the bolt is adequately tightened to prevent loosening from vibration during use. Torque value is approximately 40 foot-pounds. Now we can test the rotating star to make sure it rotates freely and smooth. There should be no grinding or excessive play. We're now ready to install the individual targets. The easiest way to install the targets is to stand in front of the target and align the bottom tulip of the target into the spring-loaded retainer. Once behind the spring-loaded retainer, you can now press down until the tulip locks into the groove of the arm. Repeat for all of the targets. Make sure that the target tulip is seated properly into the arm groove and it is being retained by the spring-loaded retainer. Setup of the ShootSteel.com Texas Star is now complete. Please make sure you follow the directions that either came with the target or available on ShootSteel.com to make sure your backstop and shooting area are safe to shoot with steel targets and you're shooting at an appropriate safe distance. If you have any questions, you can always contact the ShootSteel.com technical staff. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.